Next on Worcester News tonight, a Worcester man faces a judge. He's charged in a violent home invasion, but he says it was self-defense. Plus, after more than 9 decades in the city, the Marlborough Airport is set to become an industrial park. More on those stories in a moment, but first, snow and rain showers in the forecast. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Olivia Lemon. They're expected prior to the morning commute, which could make for some slick spots on the roads as you head to work and school. Let's get right over to meteorologist Tim Kelly for the timeline.
Yeah, it's cold outside. One of the coldest days since Thanksgiving. Coldest day this year so far. A big storm in the Pacific Ocean. We have to watch that for the weekend. Meantime, blue is snow, green is rain. We have a batch of snow and rain coming at us. It's a very thin batch of snow along with a warm front. So even though it's cold outside, when it snows tomorrow morning, that's the leading edge of warmer air outside this evening. It's about 20-25 degrees. The wind is going to start increasing. Here's 4 o'clock in the morning. It's snowing in Leominster. It's dry in Worcester and points east, but points north, it's going to be slippery. It's going to snow for a couple of hours. Mostly light snow, could be a burst of moderate snow, should coat the ground white. Not a huge problem, but it is at the rush hour, so it's going to be a little bit of a delay. Temperature's going to get up to 35 to 40 with some rain showers in the afternoon, so not a big system. Less than an inch of snow expected. We'll talk more about that with an accumulation and an outlook to the weekend in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Tim. Switching gears now, Worcester police are investigating a body found in the city Monday morning. The discovery was made on Cambridge Street near Salvation Army donation bin, and investigators have been on scene there for more than 8 hours. Our Cam Jandro joins us live now from the scene where police just gave an update. Cam.
Yeah, Olivia, still very little information on this case at this time, but what we do know is that there was, in fact, a body found here outside of the family store Salvation Army on Cambridge Street in Worcester. The body was found next to some of these donation bins found in the parking lot next to the actual building. Some video from earlier today, you can see investigators and heavy police presence on scene here. Worcester Police has been on scene for nearly 8 hours now. They say that they're not sure whether or not this death is suspicious or not, but they're treating it as a homicide because they're only allowed to process it as a homicide once. Worcester Police saying 4 employees or so from surrounding businesses found the body early this morning when they reported it before 10 o'clock a.m. Earlier today, we spoke with Lieutenant Sean Murtha of the Worcester Police Department, and he says that there's still not much information that they can share at this time. Again, a body found right here outside of the Salvation Army family store in Worcester. That's all we have for now. Live in Worcester tonight, Cam Jandro, Worcester News Tonight.
All right, thank you, Cam. A Worcester man appears in court Monday facing several charges. Police say he held a victim at gunpoint during a home invasion in Webster, but his lawyer says it was self-defense. Our Brittany Schaefer was at his arraignment today and joins us now with the details. Brittany.
Olivia, according to police, Omar Abu went to the apartment to get money owed to him, and when he wasn't paid, he threatened to shoot the resident, but his defense attorney says it was the resident who attacked Abu first.
Omar Abu.
A 27-year-old Worcester man faces a judge. Police say he held a gun to a person's head during a home invasion in Webster. Monday, Omar Abu was arraigned on a long list of charges.
Home invasion, assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, assault with a dangerous weapon, assault and battery to collect a loan, carrying without a license a loaded firearm.
According to police, Abu entered the apartment on Lake Street hoping to collect money owed to him. When he wasn't paid, Abu threatened the 3 men inside with a gun.
Mr. Abu is alleged to have told Mr. Dufresne, "I'm not negotiating, I'm going to shoot you." Police did, as they state, recover that weapon. They did state that it indicated as though there was a bullet jammed in the weapon. There was a malfunction and there was a misfeed.
It appears to be an older style gun. I don't know if it's an antique, if it's classified as such, but it definitely didn't belong to Mr. Abu, so we're working on finding out who the owner is.
According to Abu's defense attorney, he has no previous convictions. He says Abu needed the money for his son's first birthday present, and he only brought the gun for self-defense.
Dufresne actually grabbed him and assaulted him. It was at this point that he had taken out the handgun that he had taken with him for protection.
Deputy Chief Michael Shaw says officers responded to the incident in less than a minute. Abu was arrested without any issues.
Great job by the officers that responded so quickly and got the situation. You know, we got the gun off the street, we got the suspect is in custody, and nobody was injured, and that's probably the most important thing.
Worcester police are working to find out who owns the gun. Abu was held without bail. He is due back in court on February 5th. Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
Dudley police need your help identifying a man and woman who stole a donation jar from a restaurant counter. The department shared this surveillance video on social media of the couple taking a jar with donated money in it. It was supposed to be donated to the Knights of Columbus. The theft happened at the Dunkin' Donuts on West Main Street on December 20th. Anyone who may recognize the two are asked to call Dudley police. A Framingham man appeared in court today facing a charge of lewd and lascivious behavior. It all stems from an incident last week in Sudbury. Police say 26-year-old Amilcar Rivas Rivera exposed himself to a woman while he was sitting in his car at the Sudbury Plaza. And prosecutors say this isn't the first time Rivas Rivera was his first offense. He was arrested last March at the Natick Mall, accused of masturbating in his car and following a woman. There was a similar incident at Ashland State Park in October. His attorney argues her client is innocent.
This is going to be vetted and hashed out in a court of law. We're going to take some time to get the information and the data that's going to show that he's innocent. He denies these allegations of 1228. The police have decided that he's the person they want to arrest. I myself would like to go out there with an objective view and figure out what happened, what evidence we can find happened at that kiosk at that time on Friday evening.
And Rivas Rivera is due back in court next month. The partial government shutdown is in its third week with no immediate end in sight. The longer it goes, the more it may affect people who rely on federal programs in central Massachusetts. Our Chandler Walsh joins us live now to explain. Chandler?
Olivia, the shutdown continues as the president and Democratic lawmakers disagree on funds to build a border wall. Local organizations say they're concerned there's still no resolution and the populations most vulnerable are being impacted. It's day 17 of a partial government shutdown, and its effects are being felt in Worcester. With no known end in sight, the Central Massachusetts Housing Alliance is concerned how their clients who receive federal housing assistance will be impacted.
People are furloughed so that, requests for payment and requests for approvals are likely going to slow down.
Executive Director Grace Carmark says the housing troubles don't end there. She says Friday is the first day federal workers won't receive a paycheck and could start to fall behind.
80% of who it's affecting aren't in D.C. They're spread out over the country. They're janitors in our federal housing court right here in Worcester.
Other federal programs like the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, could also take a hit if the shutdown continues into February.
To add a challenge with food security is just unfair and unkind, and our people in our community deserve better than that.
The Worcester Community Action Council wants their clients to know they're still open and offering services.
We continue to compile other resources for our clients should SNAP benefits not be available, but we dearly hope that it doesn't come to that.
Both organizations say they're staying informed and connected to their partners. They say it's a challenge. There are no clear deadlines when programs will be affected.
It's all a matter as to when these different agencies start to run out of money and personnel.
Now, safe to say, the Worcester Community Action Council and Central Mass Housing Alliance will be paying close attention as the president plans to make an address on the shutdown Tuesday night. The WCAC also offers a federally funded fuel assistance program. This isn't being impacted because funds were secured before the shutdown. Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
National Grid workers have approved a contract agreement with the utility. The vote puts an end to a lockout. It had more than 1,200 employees out of work since June. There are still few details of the deal between two United Steelworkers unions. The main issues during negotiations had been healthcare costs and pensions for new hires. A Southborough developer has big plans for the Marlborough Airport. The property has been a staple in the community for more than 9 decades, and they're hoping new development will bring it back to life. Our Rosalind Flaherty joins us now to explain. Rosalind?
Olivia, former President Barack Obama once landed his helicopter there. Now the proposed new development will attract businesses to the city. There are no airplanes visible on this runway in Marlborough. The state's oldest privately owned commercial airport is transforming.
We're trying to cater to businesses, local businesses in the area, in the Metro West area, that are looking to own their own buildings. A lot of them have, leasing buildings.
Bob DePietri of Capital Group Properties bought the Marlborough Airport in December for $2.25 million and will turn it into an industrial park. The 18-acre site was originally planned for senior housing, but they received opposition from nearby businesses, and the city council voted it down.
That's what we thought was, the best fit for the area going forward, but you need the city council's approval.
The owner of the 96-year-old airport sold it because of a downturn in the industry. Gina DiMatteo lives and owns property nearby. She wishes it would stay as an airport, but is happy the land won't be used for residential purposes, saying it would harm the nearby businesses.
I'm happy to see that it's staying consistent with the zoning.
Manuel Lemus also owns a business next door. He's disappointed the area won't be used to benefit the community.
A lot of more kids, and I'm always involved with sports, so we need more football field and playgrounds for the kids, for the community.
Meanwhile, the concept plan is to have 12 small buildings. The real estate development company is already in talks with businesses eager to move in.
Great area, very close to Sudbury, Framingham line, close to Route 20, pretty decent access back to Route 85.
Now, the developer says the goal is to now start the site plan approval process and to start construction later this year. Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
Worcester will see its first state agency to be headquartered in the city this year. The Cannabis Control Commission is moving to the second floor of Union Station. But in order to accommodate the agency, City Manager Edward Augustus is asking the City Council to approve a $2 million loan order to fund a 15,000 square foot renovation of the station. Renovations will include the installation of things like new metal stud walls, sound insulation, window and door replacement, fire protection, and electrical and security systems.
The city pays for this up front, but basically we recoup that money through the lease payments. So the net is that the city actually comes out ahead at the end of the day in terms of the lease payments. That we're basically fronting the money, if you will, to get the work done.
And the city manager's recommendation goes before the City Council Tuesday night.